Hey y'all, Candace here from Little Steps to Be Happy. I talk about health and fitness for moms. So today I'm tackling a subject, and this is one that is quite interesting. And this is one of those subjects that really some people, they really get their feelings hurt about. Like, oh my goodness. I'll tell you real quick. One time in a Facebook group, I mentioned about this in it, counting calories. Sorry, I didn't mention that yet. We're talking about counting calories and why I don't like it, I don't do it, and I do not recommend it to anybody. But I mentioned in a Facebook group one time about how I don't like counting calories, and I had some people lose their minds out. I mean, woo, were they hot. They were so mad that I don't like counting calories. And I mean, they were just like, oh, this is the only thing you can do, and da 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 da. So I'm going to preface this whole video with saying that if you like counting calories and it is working for you and you are willing to do this for the rest of your life, congratulations. I am genuinely happy for you. Do not watch the rest of this video. If counting calories works for you and you like it, I really am happy for you. It does not work for me and I hate it, and I'm going to spend this whole video talking about why, and I don't want you to be upset. So let's just save us both the drama. Don't watch it, because I recognize that what works for somebody might not work for other people, and what might not work for me may work for other people. So that is my disclaimer. I hate counting calories, and I'm going to talk about why, but I recognize for some people it is effective, and if it is working for you and you like it, more power to you. Definitely don't watch the rest of this video. Okay, so reason number one why I don't like counting calories: I do not think it is sustainable long term. I do not want to spend the rest of my life looking up on my phone how many calories is in an apple, how many calories is in this specific piece of pizza I'm eating, how many calories is in the peanut butter and jelly crust that I'm eating off the table that my son didn't eat. I don't want to spend my life doing that. That is a lot of work. That is exhausting. Also, oh my goodness, and not to mention, like, counting calories is only effective if you are logging all of your physical activity, including everything that you eat. So if I am prompt to take a walk around the neighborhood with my kids, I gotta write that down. If I go teach jujitsu for 2 hours, I gotta go write that down. Like, that is so much extra work, when really sometimes I walk into a room and I don't even remember why I walked into it. I don't have the mental capacity to log every single bite of food that I take, how many calories in it, and to be looking up and then feel track, because I've done it before. So I'm not even just saying this like out of nowhere. I've done it. Like, I went and I made my own pizza. And so now I gotta figure out how many calories are in my own random pizza, and oh no, they don't have the sauce that I use to make the pizza. So then I gotta find some random substitution. And so y'all can kind of see, like, it becomes such a hassle. And if you're just trying to lose weight for just a short period of time, then maybe that's fine and it's worth it, because I'm not gonna say it doesn't work. Like, if you really are very strict in your counting calories and you're very regimented and you do it right, it can be effective in losing weight. But whatever you do to lose weight, you have to keep it up for as long as you want the weight to be on. So it's not like, oh, I count calories now, but once I lose weight, I can do whatever I want. Oh, no, no, no. Whatever you do to lose the weight, you have to keep doing to keep it off. So if you're counting calories, you have to be willing to count calories for the rest of your life. That's exhausting. Like I said, like, who's got time for that? I don't. Man, like, I got 3 kids and a couple jobs going on. Like, I do not have time to count calories. So I find it a very unsustainable way to manage my weight. That's reason number one why I don't like counting calories. Reason number 2 is that it does not take into account your nutritional needs. So eating is not just about energy, right? It's about giving our body nutrients that we need, right? Like all those vitamins, all those minerals, all that jazz, right? Protein, fat, carbs, all that jazz. Like, our body needs all of it to function well. And when you're just counting calories, it does not take that into account. So, you could decide that for dinner, I'm going to have a bowl of ice cream and a candy bar. And as long as you eat it within the amount of calories, technically you're fine. And maybe technically you're going to lose weight, but you're also going to be kind of miserable, because your body needs those nutritional things. When it doesn't get it, it will say, feed me. It will say, hey, by the way, there's not enough protein and vitamin B12 in flipping ice cream and a candy bar. We're hungry. You should go eat. And so, yeah, maybe you satisfied your urge to eat something sweet and it tasted good, but then now you're battling all these extra hunger signals your body's giving out because nutritionally it has not gotten what it needs. So really sitting there and being like, oh, only calories matter. Like, I mean, you want to live off of Cheez-Its and ice cream and a candy bar? Probably not. You're not. Your body's not going to thank you for it, okay? Like, if you want to be fit, you want to be healthy, you want to be strong, you want to think about like not losing weight just for the way that you look, but getting in shape so that long term you can live a longer, healthier life, counting calories is not going to get you there because it does not take into account your nutritional needs. So that's another reason why I really don't like it. Reason number 3 why I don't like counting calories is that your calorie needs, your energy needs are going to vary day to day. And it's a lot of times when you kind of get calorie recommendations, it's just straight, right? Like I know when I was doing it, it was like 1,200 calories a day. That's what women need. The end. It's like, okay, but some days I'm hungrier. Like some days I'm doing more, right? Some days I'm running around and I'm going here, there, and all day with the kids. Some days, I'm exercising more. And yeah, you log your exercise. But look, I got a Fitbit, and my Fitbit says that in 15 minutes of ab work, I've only burned like 45 calories, and I can promise you, I was burning more than 45 calories doing that ab exercise, right? Like, I was really exerting myself. I was worn out when I was done. And so 45 calories is all they say, but I'm sort of thinking, no. I really burned a lot of effort, a lot of energy. I'm going to need a little bit more fuel today. And your calorie counting is not always going to accurately measure that. There's also other things to take into account, like your hormone levels are going to change your energy needs throughout the day. The type of food is going to change your energy needs throughout the day. Like I mentioned before, if you've just eaten, ice cream and chips, okay, so nutritionally you've not gotten what you need. So then you're going to need some more food, and that counting calories has nothing to do with that because you haven't given your body the energy that it needs to actually function well. So counting calories doesn't take all that into effect, that some days you need more food than others, or the food that you're eating isn't giving you enough energy, so then you're going to need to eat something else too. Counting calories does not take all that into effect. So it really does not give you a good, sustainable picture about how to eat well. It's literally just how to eat less food than you're going to burn off, right? How to eat less calories than you're going to burn. But it doesn't talk about what does your body actually need on a day-to-day basis. And that changes. And it's supposed to. So, when you just get a strict number, stay under this many calories, there's so many things that does not take into effect for what your body actually needs and the way that our bodies actually function. Reason number 4 that I don't like counting calories is we only have so much given willpower in a day. Like they have really done studies and stuff, and moms and women especially are kind of prone to this. We have something called decision fatigue, right? And they've even done studies about how much willpower we have throughout the day. We only get a finite amount. So counting calories is very heavily reliant on willpower because it doesn't take into account your hunger needs, it doesn't take into account your energy needs, it doesn't take into account your nutritional needs. It's literally just don't eat more than this amount of calories. And in order to be able to do that, you have to rely on willpower. That's all that's kind of running the show. And that is, you only have so much. So if you've got a busy day, if you have a lot of decisions to make for your kids, if you're trying to make yourself exercise, if you have a whole list of things in your life that you're making yourself do, you're going to burn through that willpower super fast. And calorie count is going to take a huge chunk out of that. And so you kind of got to think about it is the energy and effort that you have to put during willpower, energy and effort you have to put towards calorie counting, you're not going to have to put towards something else, towards a whole bunch of other things maybe. I remember when I did it, I would struggle a lot because honestly, by lunch, I was through all my calories. And then it was like, well, crap, what am I going to do? And the amount of willpower it takes to stop eating at lunch when you're hungry and make it through the rest of the day, oh my God, that's exhausting. That is hard. That is a lot of willpower, a lot of energy, and it makes it really difficult to follow through on. I mean, of all the diets I've tried, counting calories was probably the hardest because all you have driving you is willpower. That's it. And you just got to really hope that every single day you're feeling strong enough to tell yourself no when maybe you're legitimately hungry, but you're past your calories, So, yeah, it's heavily reliant on willpower. There's not a lot of taking into account the way our bodies function, the way our minds work, the way that, our urges and our cravings and our hungers and our body signals, like all of those things. Counting calories does not take any of that into account in order to help you manage changing your habits to eat in that way. So a lot of willpower, which is really hard to pull off. Okay, reason number 5, why I do not like counting calories, and this has probably been one of the bigger ones, although, I think the first 4 reasons I've told you are pretty strong too. But reason number 5 I don't like counting calories is because it creates a lot of feelings of deprivation and restriction. I mentioned before how, when I was trying it, there were days I would have burned through my calories by lunch, right? And not even eating, I swear I wasn't even eating that crazy, but it was gone by lunch. And so kind of what happens after that is all of a sudden the misery sits in. I promise you, as soon as I would put in my calories, the misery hit. It was like, oh God, I'm not supposed to eat anything else for the rest of the day. It's 12:30 and I'm not supposed to eat anything else for the rest of the day. Cue the misery, cue the deprivation. I feel so restricted, this is so miserable. I can't ever have what I want. It was instantly an avalanche of misery around trying to diet. Just instant misery. Just now I am going to hate my life until tomorrow when I can eat again. That's exactly where I was at. And I'm going to tell you right now, I could not maintain that. I really could not sit there and tell myself, okay, well now you just don't get to eat anything for the rest of the day. Even though you're legitimately going to be hungry, it's over, it's done. Now, people who love calorie counting are like, okay, we'll just eat eat less calories, the next day for breakfast or lunch. But then that meal, it's like, okay, so I've only eaten this much. I'm still hungry, but my calories are gone. So now I just have to sit here and be miserable to lunch, right? It was the same exact feeling, maybe just for a shorter period of time during the day. That was not working for me. I could not really embrace a diet that left me feeling miserable and I could not eat when I was hungry. It relates back to some part of my brain, some part of myself that was when you need food, you should be able to have it, right? When we're talking basic needs, when I'm hungry, really physically hungry, I should be able to eat. And to have to tell myself no, that did not work for me. I was not on board for that, not the type of life I want to live, was not willing to do it. And that would happen a lot when I was trying to count calories. And so it was just miserable. I definitely couldn't stick with it. It wasn't sustainable. It made me feel miserable, and it did not work. Now, there are people who it has worked for, and maybe they managed it better than me, but the effort of figuring it out really wasn't worth it, especially when there are other ways to lose weight, right? It wasn't this is the only answer, and if I don't figure this out, no, it's not the only answer. Thank goodness, there are other ways. If you want to know what I have done now that I have not I did not choose to count calories, I would be happy to make a video about that for you guys. It would be a whole other video, maybe several videos to really go into detail and really explain it very well. But I will suffice to say that, it's a combination of some intuitive eating, some, mindful eating, to really start tuning into my body's hunger signals, eating a healthier diet, maybe better quality of foods. There's a lot into it. But if you're interested, let me know. I'll be happy to kind of go in that detail. But I'm happy to say there has never been a bit of counting calories in my success, and you don't have to do it. So if you're like me and you hate it, you don't have to do it. There are other ways to lose weight. Absolutely start exploring those. I hope you're doing well. I'll talk to you soon.